Greetings! Welcome to Lesson 5. In this lesson, we will be creating a metric conversion app. Have you ever thought that it might be useful to have an app that had all the mathematical formulas that you use in school, whether from geometry or physics or just converting English to metric units? That is the app that we're going to create. Although we'll just create a simple version, it will convert inches to centimeters and miles to kilometers, but the basic principles I will discuss would easily be extended to almost any conversion you might need an app to do. This lesson will introduce you to math operations, and you will find that App Inventor has a wide range of these functions available, enough to do probably almost anything that you might ever want to do with App Inventor. We're going to begin by putting a label at the top, and we will rename this our title label. And this label will have the title of our app. A title in this case needs to be prominent because the idea here is that if a user accidentally starts up the app or is switching between apps, they know what app they have open. Let's make the font bold and increase the text to a size, say 30, and change the text to metric conversion. Now let's add a second label right below it. We will call this our subtitle. And again, let's make it bold. Change it to, let's say, 20 font. And the text here will tell you what you're converting, which will be English to metric. Now we want to go to Layout and pull over a table. And we're going to give our table 4 columns, 2 rows, and we're going to set the width to fill parent. We want to go all the way across the screen. In the first column of the table, we're going to put 2 text boxes, and this is going to be where the user will enter a number that they want to convert. The top will be our inches text box, and the bottom will be our miles text box. This is a little wide, so let's adjust the width of both of the text boxes so that we'll make the top one, I'll say 80 pixels. And we'll make the bottom one 80 pixels. And then lastly, we want to have a hint that tells the user what to enter. So for the first one, let's make the hint inches. And for the second one, let's make the hint miles. Next, we want to have buttons, and these buttons are going to be our conversions. So, or at least they're going to be the button that tells the app to make the conversion. We'll pull a button over and put it in each row of the second column. The first button we will call our inches button. The second we will call our miles button. In both cases, we're going to change the label to say convert. In the third column, we want to have a label that will be where the number is actually displayed once you have the conversion. So let's pull a label and put it in each row. And our first label will be our centimeter conversion. And the second label will be our kilometer conversion. Both of these labels, let's set the width to a reasonable size. Let's make the first one 40 pixels and do the same with the second one. And in both cases, let's remove the text. Finally, we want to indicate what the unit is in our fourth column. So we'll pull over two more labels. And the first we will name our centimeter unit. And the second our kilometer unit. In the first we will change the text to centimeters. And in the second we will change the text to kilometers. We don't fill up the whole space, so let's go and make a small adjustment. And for the label that gives us our result, let's make that a little wider. I will go from 40 to, say, 80 pixels. And one more thing with these two labels is let's set the alignment so that it is to the right. That way the number will show up with a good placement. Finally, let's pull a button over and we'll put it below our table, and we're going to call this our clear button. And this will clear out our entries after we've made a conversion. And we'll change the text on that to clear. And now we have our clear button. The programming for this app will be fairly simple. We want to go to our inches button, let's get a when.click event handler. Now let's go to our label that's going to show us our centimeter, or at least our inch to centimeter conversion, and we will get a set text to, plug that in. Now let's go to the top to our math operations, and we want a multiplication. Let's pull that over. And in the first block of this multiplication, let's get the value that the user entered. So we'll go to our text box and we will say, get the pointer that pulls the text from our inches text box. Now we will get a number block, pull that over, and we'll change the number to 2.54. So what we're doing here is when the button is clicked for the conversion, it will take the number in the text box that the user has entered, it will multiply it by 2.54, and then it will display it in the text box, or not the text box, but in the label that we provided for that conversion. Now, let's copy and paste this. We're going to change all of this over for our miles conversion. So we'll make this our miles button. We will make this our kilometer conversion. We will make this our miles text box, and we'll change the number to 1.61. We have one more thing to do, and that is our clear button. So for the clear button, we'll get the when.click event handler. Now what we want to do is when you press the clear button, you should clear out the entries in the text boxes, and you should also clear out the results from the previous conversion. So for our inches text box, let's get the set text to, and we're going to attach a empty text string. And what this will do is it will not actually empty it, but it will replace the text with the hint. So let's copy and paste this and change this to our miles text box. Now for our conversions, again, let's get the set text. Let's attach a empty text string. Let's copy and paste that and make this our kilometer conversion. And with that, you should be ready to test. And now for the exercise. You can either take the app that we just developed and add some more metric conversions, or think about other formulas that you need to know or that you use and create a new app with those formulas. For more lessons, or for the written notes to go with this lesson, visit the Brain Hackers website at www.brainhackers.net.